Have you ever heard of Padre Pio? He was a man known for his deep faith, incredible miracles, and some say, the ability to see the future. What if I told you he made predictions about our time, specifically about the year 2025, that are so startling they've left many speechless? Let's dive into the prophecies of this revered saint and uncover what he foresaw for the world. But be warned, what we're about to explore might just change the way you see everything. Padre Pio, born Francesco Forgione in 1887 in a small Italian town, was a figure of immense spiritual significance. From a young age, he dedicated his life to God, eventually becoming a Capuchin friar. He is perhaps most famous for bearing the stigmata, the wounds of Christ, on his hands, feet, and side for 50 years. But beyond these visible signs of his deep connection to the divine, many believe he was granted visions of the future. These weren't vague, cryptic verses. They were often detailed and direct warnings to humanity. So, what exactly did Padre Pio see for 2025? It's important to understand that his prophecies were not about specific dates like a calendar appointment. Instead, they pointed to a period of great trial and transformation for humanity. He spoke of a chastisement, a time of purification for the world, brought about by humanity's turning away from faith and embracing sin. This period, which many interpreters believe is culminating around our current era, leading into 2025, would be marked by significant upheaval. One of the most chilling aspects of his prophecies concerns the 3 days of darkness. Padre Pio described a period where the sun would be obscured, and a profound, terrifying darkness would cover the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. During this time, he warned, the air would become filled with pestilence, and terrifying apparitions would be seen. He urged people to stay indoors, to seal their windows, and to pray continuously with blessed candles as their only light. This event, he said, would be a direct divine intervention, a final, powerful call for humanity to return to God. But why would such a drastic event occur? According to Padre Pio, it's the consequence of our collective choices. He saw a world increasingly consumed by materialism, selfishness, and a disregard for moral and spiritual laws. He often lamented the loss of faith, the corruption within society, and even within the church itself. His prophecies were not meant to be a horror story, but a desperate plea from a loving Father. He was showing us the potential destination of the path we were on, hoping we would choose to change course before it was too late. He saw this period of trial as a necessary, albeit painful, purification process. Now, let's connect this to 2025. Many who study his prophecies believe that the increasing global instability, the natural disasters, the social unrest, and the moral confusion we see today are the precursors to this great trial he spoke of. They see 2025 not necessarily as the year of the 3 days of darkness itself, but as a critical turning point, a culmination of the tensions that have been building for decades. It's viewed as a threshold year, where the spiritual battle between good and evil reaches a fever pitch. Padre Pio also spoke of great natural calamities. He foresaw earthquakes, floods, and fire falling from the sky, events of a magnitude never before witnessed. He described these not as random acts of nature, but as part of this divine purification. Imagine the world we know being shaken to its very core. It's a terrifying thought, but for Padre Pio, it served a purpose, to awaken a sleeping world. He believed that through this suffering, many would rediscover their faith and turn back to God, humbled and purified. He also had warnings about war and conflict. He spoke of a great and terrible war that would erupt, more devastating than any before it. This prophecy is particularly resonant today, as we witness conflicts and rising tensions across the globe. He saw this conflict not just as a political struggle, but as a manifestation of the spiritual decay in the world. When humanity loses its moral compass, he believed, it inevitably turns on itself. This great war, according to his visions, would be a major component of the worldwide chastisement. But here is the most important part of Padre Pio's message, and it's not one of despair, but of hope. He promised that after the period of intense trial and purification, a new era would dawn. The world would not be destroyed, but renewed. Those who endured the trials with faith and remained true to God would emerge into a world of peace and renewed spirituality. It would be a kind of springtime for the church and for humanity. The wicked would be purged, and the earth would be cleansed. A new, more profound relationship between humanity and God would be established. So, how are we supposed to respond to these intense prophecies? Panic? Fear? Absolutely not. Padre Pio's primary message was always one of prayer, conversion, and trust in God's mercy. He wasn't trying to scare us. He was trying to save us. His advice for navigating these difficult times was simple and timeless. First and foremost, he stressed the power of the rosary. He called it the weapon for these times. He urged everyone to pray it daily, asking for the Blessed Mother's protection and intercession. Second, he emphasized the importance of the sacraments, especially confession and the Eucharist. He saw these as spiritual lifelines, providing the grace and strength needed to withstand the trials ahead. He spent countless hours in the confessional, reminding people of the power of God's forgiveness. Third, he called for a life of penance and conversion. This doesn't mean extreme self-punishment. It means turning away from sin, simplifying our lives, detaching ourselves from materialism, and focusing on what truly matters: our relationship with God and our love for our neighbor. It's a call to live a more authentic Christian life, right here and now. So, as we look toward 2025, we have a choice. We can dismiss these prophecies as old-world superstitions, or we can see them as a loving warning, a spiritual wake-up call. We don't need to build a bunker or hoard supplies. The preparation Padre Pio called for is entirely spiritual. It's about strengthening our faith, deepening our prayer life, and living in a way that is pleasing to God. Whether the 3 days of darkness and the great chastisement happen exactly as described or not, the spiritual advice Padre Pio gave is timelessly valuable. Living a life of prayer, faith, and love is the best way to prepare for any future, certain or uncertain. His prophecies are not a roadmap of doom, but a call to holiness. They remind us that our actions have eternal consequences and that God, in His infinite mercy, is always calling us back to Him. Padre Pio's legacy is one of profound love and unwavering faith. He endured immense suffering himself, yet he never lost hope. He saw the darkness that was coming, but he looked beyond it to the dawn that would follow. Perhaps the shocking prediction for 2025 isn't about destruction, but about the incredible opportunity for renewal that lies on the other side of the trial. It's a call to choose our side in the spiritual battle and to trust that, in the end, God's love will triumph. What do you think? Are we living in the times Padre Pio foretold? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and if you found this exploration meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of faith. Stay blessed, and stay prepared in spirit.